Today we're going to talk about non-renewable versus not renewable energy. When we talk about non-renewable energy, what we're really talking about is energy that comes from sources that runs out or will not be replenished in our lifetime, or even in many, many lifetimes. Some of the examples that we have are minerals, metal ores, fossil fuels, which are coal, petroleum, or natural gas, and nuclear fuels. Now, there's some advantages and disadvantages to non-renewable resources, which therefore create energy. The advantages right now, they seem widely available and affordable as market value where a supplier and manufacturer makes money and pays workers, adding to the economy. However, the disadvantage is once they are gone, they cannot be replaced or revitalized. The byproducts cause pollution and harm to the environment, thus causing a lot of impacts on not only global warming, but also some impacts on the local environment and local ecology. Now that brings us to renewable resources. When we're talking about renewable resources are resources that have energy that comes from a source that is not depleted when used. So some examples would be like wind, solar, geothermal, hydropower, and biomass. Some advantages and disadvantages to renewable resources are the advantages is it is sustainable and never runs out. Renewable energy facilities generally require less maintenance than traditional generators, and it produces little to no waste products. Now, there are some disadvantages. The disadvantage currently is difficult to produce the amount of energy that is normally produced by fossil fuels. And its supply is sometimes unreliable because you think about solar energy. Depending on the weather, sometimes the sun is exposed and sometimes it's not. Same thing with wind energy. When we're talking about wind energy, if the wind's not blowing, then the turbine's not going to turn on the windmill. So sometimes it's unreliable. Now also, when we're talking about renewable resources, because they're still fairly new, they have higher startup costs. So that can be a disadvantage for some. Now, when we're looking at a strategy for sustainable energy, here's a projection of what seems to be how our energy is going to transition from non-renewable energies to renewable energies over time. And this is predicted into 2100. Notice, like in the 1800s, there's a lot of wood, so mainly burning wood and wood stoves, and then they transitioned to coal, and then coal was used to heat and to create energy. And then we moved to oil and slightly into nuclear, and then we get into natural gas. Natural gas peaks, and then we start to look at hydrogen and solar. So this is the projection that we see in 2100. And this is where we're trying to go, because when we think about non-renewable versus renewable energies, we want to make sure that we have a supply of energy that's constant. And we know that with non-renewable energies and non-renewable resources, those can run out at any given time.